we did some work to figure out what were the differences between those who went into jobs and those who didn't. One of the things we found was that the total vocational input from schools and from external employment services were different. There was probably double the amount of vocational input from the school and double the hours of vocational input from an external agency for those who went into jobs and those who didn't. So clearly, the intensity of vocational programming that you get in school, and also the amount of time that's spent with you by external agencies to try and find you and keep you in work experience, are important. On the second one there, in terms of work experience specifically, time by schools themselves spent in work experience didn't make a difference. It was actually work experience organised by specialist outside agencies that made the difference. And you can see that the average amount of time spent in that work experience was double for in that type of work experience was double for the group who went into work and those who didn't. It's interesting that one of the main features of work experience that's different between what external agencies provide and what schools and colleges provide is often it has to be internal. So it's about the school office, shadowing the caretaker, working in the college canteen, which is arguably not giving you the right contingencies, the right modelling for what needs to go on outside. So where you do and under what circumstances you do work experience makes a difference to your probability of getting a job afterwards. It's not just work experience itself, it's who organises it and where it is. You know this as well. Care reviews are incredibly important in relation to this. People were more likely to get a job if their carer viewed the prospects of the person having a job as positive. So in other words, of those who went into jobs, 75% of their carers were positive about the idea of them getting a job, and those who didn't was 50-50. And the other one is carer concerns. For those who didn't get a job, carers reported they were far more concerned about the implications of somebody getting a job. And underpinning that were the usual concerns about bullying, about exploitation, and about impact on welfare benefit system. Okay. Now, what this says to me is that we complain about parents often, about their negative views about it, but what do we actually do that's substantive to affect people's views of these particular things? Do we actually... Supported employment spends a lot of time thinking about the employer's views and how you pitch and how you deal with the issues that employers have. Do we do enough of putting our own self in the role of parents and what their real concerns are? And how do we demonstrate that we're actually going to deal with those concerns seriously? Now, as I'm going to argue, work experience is not just interesting in figuring out what a young person does. If you do it at school, it's absolutely crucial in affecting the mindset of families. Okay?